you already lost the negotiation. The moment you reply too fast, most people surrender their power. The second they need someone's attention. Here's what no one will tell you about power. It's not loud. It's the pause before you speak. If someone can trigger you in 3 words, they own you. You just don't know it yet. Most people think love is the answer. What they don't realize is, it can become the cage. The moment you need their approval, you hand them the controls, and they will use them. Watch the calmest person in the room during a crisis. That's who's in control, not the one shouting. Every emotional reaction is information leaked, and information is a weapon. In the wrong hands, you replay old conversations because uncertainty is uncomfortable. Detachment begins when you stop needing the answer. Some people love your energy only because they consume it. Distance will show you who they really are. The quieter you become, the more people expose themselves. Silence is the best interrogation. You don't need revenge. Removing access changes everything without a word. Most manipulation only works because people keep reacting. When you stop, the game ends. In any room where money changes hands, the least emotional person controls the outcome. Neediness destroys authority, even when it's hidden behind confidence. People feel it before you speak. A detached mind sees clearly. An emotional mind chases illusions. It built itself. Your strongest boundaries don't need to be explained. They just need to be kept. You don't owe access to everyone who demands your energy. That's not cruelty. That's discernment. The friendships that disappear when you stop giving everything, that disappearance is your answer. Powerful people observe first. They decide later if speaking is even worth it. The less you explain yourself, the harder you are to manipulate. Mystery protects you. Attention given too freely always lowers your value. In business, in love, in everything, you stop needing closure. When self-respect becomes the priority, clarity replaces the chase. Not every message deserves a response. Not every provocation deserves your emotion. Choose your reactions like you choose your investments. People grow uncomfortable when your calm cannot be shaken. That discomfort is your leverage. You stop defending yourself when you realize truth survives without your panic. Real self-control doesn't appear when life is easy. It appears when everything is collapsing. The emotionally weak rush decisions. The disciplined slow down exactly when pressure demands speed. Most mistakes are made because emotions demanded immediate action. Pause. The urgency is usually manipulation. Fear wants reaction. Wisdom creates distance first, then decides. Your nervous system changes when you stop feeding drama. The silence feels strange then. It feels like freedom. Most anxiety lives in a future that never arrives. The disciplined mind stays in what's real, now. Thoughts are not commands. They are whether temporary, passing, only dangerous if you obey them. Strong people feel deeply. They simply refuse to become a slave to what they feel. Praise becomes dangerous the moment your identity depends on it. So does criticism. The untouchable person stays the same, whether they're celebrated or ignored. That's the foundation nothing can shake. You stop proving yourself the moment your direction comes from inside, not outside. Some people test your limits only because you never had any. Silence after disrespect teaches harder lessons than any argument. You don't chase revenge. You remove access. and you never explain why. The strongest presence in any room usually speaks the least. Calm energy changes environments without demanding attention. You stop fearing loss when your identity belongs to no one but you. Every emotional reaction is data leaking. The world studies your weaknesses more carefully than your strengths. True confidence is invisible. Because it doesn't perform, it doesn't need applause. Not everyone deserves full access to your inner world. Privacy is not secrecy, it's protection. Detachment is not coldness. It's the highest form of self-respect. Caring deeply, but never at the cost of yourself. That's the final level. Nothing moves you. Nothing owns you. And the people who tried to, they notice. Save this, you'll need it again. You stop chasing people the moment you value your peace. Most men lose themselves trying to keep others comfortable. The world rewards restraint more than emotional explosions. A calm face hides power. An emotional face leaks it. People test quietly before they disrespect you openly. Every outburst gives others a map to control you. You become dangerous when emotions stop driving decisions. The most powerful man in the room is usually the quietest one watching. You spot manipulation faster when emotion stops blinding perception. Need creates pressure. Pressure creates mistakes. The detached man moves deliberately. The desperate man rushes. You stop explaining your value the moment you actually understand it. Not every betrayal deserves revenge. Some deserve permanent silence. Silence confuses manipulators. They expected chaos. The less you seek attention, the more your presence commands it. Most people fear rejection because their identity depends on acceptance. Real confidence doesn't announce itself. The desperate always lose fastest. The disciplined always calculate longest. You stop reacting when you realize every reaction costs something. Your peace strengthens. When fewer people have access to your mind, some people vanish. Once the emotional benefit disappears, that absence tells you everything. No conversation ever could. You stop fearing loneliness. When solitude becomes self-respect, most crowds offer noise, not connection. Every unnecessary argument steals focus from your future. You don't win power by being loudest. You win it by refusing the bait entirely. People reveal insecurity when silence makes them uncomfortable. The calmest person in conflict usually controls the outcome. You stop needing validation. When self-respect turns inward, external praise fades. Internal discipline compounds. Composure beats raw intelligence. When pressure enters the room, smart men still collapse. If emotions run their decisions, weak minds crave approval. Strong minds crave alignment. Most manipulation starts with artificial urgency. Someone rushes you because they fear your patience. The disciplined man slows down before every important decision. You stop overthinking. When you stop resisting reality, most suffering is imagined. Rehearsed disasters, invented futures. The disciplined mind stays present. Instead of living inside worst cases, you stop taking disrespect personally. When the ego loosens its grip, emotional maturity means knowing not everything deserves your energy. Status collapses the moment confidence cracks. People follow emotional stability more than loud leadership. Strong energy is grounded, not performed. You stop proving yourself When self-command becomes natural, the untouchable man stays composed. Even when everything around him breaks, pressure reveals character faster than success ever will. Most people look powerful until stress walks in. You stop needing closure when silence already gave the answer. Some endings deserve distance, not discussion. You stop forcing relationships when effort becomes one-sided. Energy invested in the wrong places always returns as exhaustion. Protect your attention like it's the most expensive thing you own, because it is. Fast emotions create damage. Slow thinking creates advantage. The strongest negotiators never appear emotionally invested. They listen while others reveal their desperation. You stop fearing failure when your identity no longer depends on winning. Failure becomes data instead of destruction. Most people break emotionally before life actually defeats them. The disciplined man adjusts. He doesn't surrender. You stop competing when purpose matters more than comparison. Comparison creates insecurity. Purpose creates direction. You stop over-explaining your boundaries. When your actions communicate clearly, distance teaches respect faster than any warning ever will. Some people only understand limits after losing access permanently. You become hard to manipulate when guilt stops controlling your behavior. Manipulators study empathy carefully because empathy without limits becomes a weapon against you. You stop feeling crowded when unnecessary people are gone. Your nervous system heals when you stop letting chaos have a seat at the table. Peace feels strange to people addicted to drama. Most people confuse chaos with passion. The disciplined man chooses consistency over emotional intensity every time. You stop chasing revenge when you realize success is the better response. The most powerful thing you can flex is self-control. Real confidence has no audience. It doesn't need one. The untouchable man stays centered, even when everything shifts. Loss still hurts, but panic no longer runs the show. Pain is temporary. When identity stays internal, you stop chasing certainty. When adaptability becomes your edge, nothing outside controls you. Once the inside is disciplined, that's real freedom. Calm, without chains,